Your grow tent has the best grow light on the market, premium growing media, and the most expensive genetics you could get your hands on. And yet your plants are growing slowly, their leaves are drooping, and the smell is spreading throughout your entire house. The problem isn't your roots, it isn't your lighting, and it isn't your nutrients. Your plants are literally suffocating in their own stale air. In today's video, I'll explain why your exhaust system is probably the most overlooked and one of the most important components of any indoor grow. Welcome back to the Genetics Growers channel. Here, we cover everything you need to take your growing skills to the next level. From genetics and plant nutrition to climate control, pest management, and, like today's topic, the technical side of indoor growing that almost nobody explains properly: the air inside your grow space. And if you'd like to dive even deeper, don't forget to visit our website. Our blog is packed with practical growing guides, pest management tips, the latest agricultural trends, and plenty of other resources to help you become a better grower. You'll find the link in the description below. What an exhaust system actually does. An exhaust fan isn't just there to keep your grow from smelling. It's solving 4 critical problems inside your grow space, all at the same time. Let's go through them one by one. First, bringing in fresh CO2. Plants need carbon dioxide to perform photosynthesis. In a sealed grow space, that CO2 can be depleted in just a matter of minutes unless fresh air is constantly brought in. Without proper air exchange, your plants literally run out of the raw material they need to grow, no matter how powerful your grow lights are. It's like owning the world's best engine but having no fuel in the tank. Second, controlling temperature. Grow lights, especially high-powered fixtures, generate heat continuously. Without enough airflow to remove that heat, the temperature inside your grow tent can climb several degrees above the ideal range in less than an hour. That puts your plants under heat stress, which, as we discussed in our previous video, can drive VPD too high and force the stomata to close. Third, managing humidity. Plants are constantly releasing water vapor through their leaves. In an enclosed grow space, that moisture has nowhere to go. It builds up hour after hour. Without proper exhaust, relative humidity can quickly rise well beyond the safe range, creating exactly the kind of warm, stagnant environment where fungal diseases like botrytis and powdery mildew thrive. Fourth, strengthening plants and discouraging pests. A steady airflow gently moves the foliage. That movement encourages plants to develop thicker, stronger stems, something that's especially important later on when they have to support heavy flowers or fruit. Good air circulation also creates a much less favorable environment for pests such as spider mites and whiteflies, which thrive in warm, stagnant air with very little movement. When your exhaust system is undersized, poorly installed, or simply missing, the consequences don't show up overnight. That's what makes the problem so dangerous. The damage builds slowly over days until the symptoms become obvious, and by then, they're often difficult to reverse. Slower growth. Without a constant supply of fresh CO2, plant growth begins to slow down, even if everything else in your grow is dialed in. As heat builds up inside the grow space, leaves may begin to droop or curl downward. It's a classic sign of heat stress, yet many growers mistakenly assume they're dealing with an irrigation problem. Mold, botrytis, and fruit or flower rot. The combination of high humidity and stagnant air creates the perfect environment for gray mold, botrytis, and other fungal diseases. These problems usually start deep inside dense flowers or clusters of fruit, where air circulation is weakest. Once mold develops inside a flower, it's usually too late to save that part of the plant. Uncontrolled odors. Without an exhaust fan connected to a properly sized activated carbon filter, odors escape directly into your home or the surrounding area. Besides being unpleasant, this can become a serious privacy issue, especially if you're growing in a shared home or a residential setting. Lower quality harvests. All of this environmental stress, excess heat, high humidity, and limited CO2 doesn't just reduce yield. It also affects the quality of your final harvest. You may end up with less dense flowers, weaker aromas, and in severe cases of prolonged stress, plants can even develop unwanted seeds during the flowering stage. How to choose the right size exhaust fan. Now let's get to the most practical part of this video. A general rule of thumb is that the total air inside your grow space should be completely replaced every 1 to 3 minutes. Here's how to calculate the minimum airflow you need. First, determine the volume of your grow space by multiplying its length times width times height, all in meters. That gives you the total volume in cubic meters. Next, divide that volume by your target air exchange time, for example, 2 minutes, and then multiply the result by 60 to convert it into cubic meters per hour, which is the unit most exhaust fans are rated in. The number you end up with is the minimum airflow your exhaust fan should provide to keep your grow properly ventilated. Now, if you're planning to use an activated carbon filter, and I highly recommend that you do for odor control, there's one more thing to keep in mind. A carbon filter creates resistance as air passes through it, which reduces the fan's actual airflow. In many cases, that reduction can be as much as 30 to 40%. That's why it's always a good idea to choose an exhaust fan with a higher airflow rating than your minimum calculation. That extra capacity helps compensate for the airflow lost through the carbon filter, ensuring your system still delivers the ventilation your plants need once everything is installed. Even the best exhaust fan can perform far below its rated capacity if the rest of the system isn't set up properly. Here are the most common mistakes I see growers make over and over again. Not providing enough air intake. A lot of growers install a powerful exhaust fan but forget that the air being removed has to be replaced. Without enough intake openings, the fan ends up fighting against an almost sealed grow space. That reduces the actual airflow and puts unnecessary strain on the motor. The ideal setup is to maintain negative pressure. That means fresh air enters passively through intake vents, while stale air is actively pulled out by the exhaust fan. This ensures that all incoming air passes through your grow space before leaving, instead of leaking in and out through random gaps. Using ducting that's too small or too long. A duct that's smaller than the fan's outlet, has too many sharp bends, or is simply too long creates additional static pressure. That extra resistance reduces the fan's actual airflow and forces the motor to work harder over time. The best approach is to keep your ducting as short and straight as possible, while using the same diameter as the fan's outlet throughout the entire run. Skipping regular maintenance. Dust, organic debris, and even small spider webs gradually build up on the fan blades and inside the carbon filter. Over time, that buildup slowly reduces airflow without you even noticing. A quick inspection and cleaning every few weeks will keep your ventilation system running at its full performance and help extend the life of your equipment. Let's do a quick recap. A properly designed exhaust system brings in fresh CO2, controls temperature, regulates humidity, and helps your plants stay stronger and more resistant to pests. When it isn't working properly, the result is slower growth, mold, uncontrolled odors, and a lower quality harvest. To size your system correctly, calculate the volume of your grow space, aim to replace all the air every 1 to 3 minutes, and choose an exhaust fan with extra capacity if you're adding a carbon filter. And don't forget about air intake and regular maintenance. That's where most systems lose their real-world performance, even if everything looked perfectly sized on paper. If this video helped you understand why proper ventilation is just as important as lighting or watering, give it a thumbs up. It really helps YouTube recommend this video to more growers who might be facing the same challenges. And don't forget to subscribe to the Genetics Growers channel so you never miss our upcoming guides on climate control, plant nutrition, and pest management. If you're still looking for a reliable exhaust fan or carbon filter, we've included a few Vivo Sun affiliate links in the description where you can pick them up at a great price. And remember, our website features a blog packed with practical growing guides, the latest agricultural trends, pest management resources, and much more to help you keep improving your skills. You'll find the link right at the top of the description. No need to go searching for it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.